What is a buff dude's favorite dessert? Apple pie. Happy Wednesday, my friends, and thank you for being here. Welcome to tonight's stream. I hope you're doing well. I see Lucent Jelly first in chat, and right close behind is Doe. Great to have you here again. I'm back. I'm still grieving. Just want to enjoy a great stream, my friend. I've been thinking about you, Doe. I've been thinking about you since you said you weren't well last time you were here, and I'm sorry to hear that that's still the case. Hopefully, hopefully we can at least be a little bit of a pleasant distraction for you. But you have certainly been on my mind. Derek Ocean, welcome in. Good to have you here, my friend. I hope that you are well. We're going to do two games tonight, my friends. We're going to play Contra at the start of the stream here. It's a continued first playthrough. I've worked on it a couple nights. Made a little bit of progress. Still haven't made it to credits. I will continue to call this a first playthrough until I make it to the credits. And maybe even afterwards, since this seems to be a very complicated game. It's got a lot of characters, and it's got branching paths. We're stubbornly sticking, though. We're only going to do... I'm not watching the demo. We're only going to do one character, and we're going to stick to the same path until we beat it, because I really want to unfold the game little by slowly, and leave lots of things for us to discover, on repeated playthroughs, rather than kind of sampling it all at once and burning it out too quick. I really want to kind of take it slow and savor the experience of the game. And after that, Battletoads. Speaking of taking it slow, I've been playing Battletoads forever. It's been about 2 months. Still can't beat it. Gonna try again tonight. We'll see how it goes. Any night could be the night. Thank you, Frownie. That really means a lot. I appreciate the kind words. Of course, my friend. Of course. Mile Hyrule, welcome in. GG on Dark Souls last night. Thank you, thank you. We, if you weren't here for the end of Dark Souls, I found a new boss and I defeated it. First night. It's the first time in a while I haven't struggled with a boss for multiple nights. I don't even know. I don't remember what he was called. He was like a big guy that was made out of a bunch of skeletons. Nito or Nico, Gravelord Nito, I think. His name was something like that. And boy, he ruined me. He ruined me immediately. Every time I walked into the room, it was dreadful. It looked like I was never gonna make any progress against that boss. Like I just threw like 5 or 6 tries at him, and they were all just pathetic. They were laughable attempts. They weren't even attempts. They were just walking in the room and getting smashed. And then suddenly I just go in there and just ruin him in one try. It was like my older brother came in the room and I handed him the controller for a minute. Like it was just, we just steamrolled him all of a sudden. It was wild. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Great to have you here, my friends. One up, John. Welcome in. I'm regaling everyone with the tales of last night's Dark Souls victory. I defeated another boss. Found a boss and defeated a boss. Same night, right away. A big skeleton guy. It was awesome. So, spirits are high. Stitched, great to see you again. Thank you for coming along with the raid. Always a pleasure to have you here with us. Hope you're doing good. Gravelord Nito. Yeah, that's the one. That's the guy. Some people say he's one of the hardest in the game. I thought he was gonna be. I was in despair after I walked in and he immediately one-shot me. I thought that it was going to be the end of the world, and then the next couple attempts were just as trash. So I'm happy. I've never been more happy to be wrong. One Up John agrees. Congrats on the progress. Thank you. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm feeling proud of myself. I'm feeling good about the Dark Souls achievements. Jelly is here with some coffee for me. One moment. All right. It's piping hot. I've got apple slices tonight, too. I feel great. What were you doing, One Up John? What was going on your stream tonight? How did it go for you? I'd love to hear. You know, the retro category where we all like to hang out doesn't provide a lot of information in the pre-generated shout-out command there. Thank you for the wheel of Scorchin' Mile High Roll. We'll sample something spicy now before we get rolling. This is the Wheel of Scorchin'. It's got, I think, 6 different hot sauces and spicy treats on it. Nothing devastating. We're slowly working our way up. But we're going to give it a spin, and I'll take a generous sampling of whatever it lands on. If you'd like to see the list of what's on it, you can use the command wheel in the chat. Is that Kaneshiro Shinji? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having an excellent evening tonight. Jelly can bring me some coffee also if she wants. There may be a delivery fee, Mile High Roll. I wouldn't recommend placing an order. Stream went well, playing random NES games. I beat the Japanese version of Adventures of Bayou Billy. Right on. I've heard that game is a little tough. I've never actually played it myself. But I've heard that it's a tough one to make it through. It's kind of a janky game, right? We have landed on the mild habanero sauce. So nothing tremendously difficult to sample right now. This is Marie Sharp habanero pepper sauce. I'd like to take a quick look at the label. Give it a turn for you there. It's kind of hard to see with the reflections, I think, but that's what it looks like. It's pretty good. It's got a very straightforward habanero flavor, which is not bad, but also I don't know. It's kind of straightforward. It's a good flavor. I like habanero peppers, but there's not a lot to say about it when it is so straightforward. And we're sampling at the top of plain wheat cracker. There's really not a whole lot of difference between the mild sauce and the hot sauce. That was a stunning punch of heat. I guess it doesn't last a long time, though. We'll be okay. I think that sauce would be good on top of something. I think the hot sauce, the hot habanero sauce, would be better to use as an ingredient if you're like incorporating it into something like a chili or a sauce, where it's going to get buried amongst other flavors. That might be the time to go with the hot. Maybe go with the mild if you're adding it on after the fact. Like if you're going to put some hot sauce on your eggs. Or like a slice of pizza or something. Because the mild sauce has still got a punch to it. But it'll still allow you to... Maybe still allow you to taste whatever you put it on. If you don't go overboard like I do with the sample. That might be the way to use those. I'm gonna get a tam like Isaac. Is that what this kind of hat is called? A tam? I'm guessing. You could be talking about his suspenders too, I guess, but I imagine you're talking about the hat. Bayou Billy is tough, one of John says. They made it harder in the US for rentals. Mild sauce is the best, one of John says. I mean, I like really spicy food. But if you want something, if you want like some complexity where you can taste some other flavors. Mile Hyrule says, Wisconsin to Ontario, Canada would be expensive. I did win on my ticket, but only $3. I'm not rich yet. Ah, that's a shame for me, Mile Hyrule. Hey, you found it. You found the new emote. You're the first person to use that one, Mile Hyrule. And not counting Jelly. Jelly found it too, but she also created it, so... You're the first person to discover it. I guess Jelly did show it to you there, right? I'm very sensitive to spicy foods. Only mild sauce for me. No mild sauce for me. No chilies. No chilies for you, one of John. That's all right. That just means more for me. Here, let me get my big head out of the way, and we can jump into the game. Derek says The Mandalorian Season 3 finally started today, and I'm so happy it's back. Right on. Glad you have something to enjoy. Yes, Doe says. Thank you. I'm just not familiar with the term. My dad used to call it the Andy Cap hat. It is. It is. Andy Cap's hot fries. I know Andy Cap is like a comic strip, but I always think of the hot fries. I like those a lot. I'm gonna have a slice of apple and then we'll start pressing some buttons. What are hot fries? They're like a potato chip that's made with cornmeal, and they're in the shape of French fries. I think that accurately describes a hot fry. I think they're usually made with cornmeal. Started Link's Awakening today. Right on. I'm a big fan of Link's Awakening. Really fine game. Great classic Zelda game, Derek agrees, right on. I miss the Sega intro, Doe says. Oh, this one doesn't sing. I didn't realize that before. It doesn't have the voice. Alright, so this is my first playthrough. I'm trying to do it blind. You know, feel free to chat with me about the game, but please try to be vague and guarded when it comes to stuff in it. I don't want to know about things I haven't discovered yet. Don't tell me things about, like, how many levels there are, or the bosses that I haven't met, and stuff like that. Please don't try to give me tips and strategy. Let me just muddle through on my own, and just enjoy how confused and badly I play. And we'll see if even a fool like me can make it to the end. We are kind of playing with tunnel vision. I want to explore all the characters and the branching paths. in the game, but I want to do them all one at the time. So we're sticking with just the Wolfman, because I kind of picked him arbitrarily to start with. And some of the choices for the branching paths that are presented to us, we're already locked into. I've played through the first 3.5 levels. It's a hard game, okay? Progress is slow. We'll be restarting a lot. But it's alright, because it's a fun time. It's a really rad game. Thank you for the follow, Kaneshiro. Sorry it took me a moment to notice that. And if I'm saying your name wrong, by all means, correct me. I'd love to get it right, but I'm kind of a dunce, so I welcome correction. Doe, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you for the support, my friend. I definitely appreciate that. It's very kind of you. And One Up John, take a key for coming in. Mile Hyrule says, my first time playing Link's Awakening. Right on. I'm glad you're getting around to it. Top 5 Zelda games, Derek says. I love that game, One Up John says. Doing the DX version. And then going to the Switch version. Right on. I have to say that it's hard to say what the definitive version of Link's Awakening is. I think I'll always prefer the DX version myself. I'll always prefer the DX version because of my nostalgia for it and my love of pixel art. But there are some really good quality of life improvements in the Switch version that really can't be denied. I'd probably say for most people, your best move is to play the Switch version if you've never played any version before, unless you have a strong taste for retro games already. Then the DX all the way. Thank you for another gift sub, Doe. Thank you again for your support, Stitched. Take a key for coming in. Enjoy our fine selection of emotes with our brand new... I don't even know where it is. I've never even used it in the chat yet. With our brand new dancing Frownie emote. The most colorful of all our emotes. Hey, Zelda dude, welcome in. Look at that. Who turned off my notification? We were talking about Zelda games, and you appear. It's like summoning Beetlejuice. I like the Switch version of Lot. It was really good. Yeah, they did a good job with it. OG is more difficult, but the remake has more content. Well, I mean, I guess that's technically true. I was trying to be so careful. Look at this game's version of the spread gun. It's out of control. The big problem, the big problem that I have with the original, and I'm calling the DX version the original, even though I know technically it's not. Big problem I have with the DX version is just the lack of buttons on the Game Boy means you spend 1,000 hours in the menus. I don't really want to talk about much beyond that, because I don't want to spoil it for Mile Hyrule. There's really nothing else I don't like about it, though. But I will say, you spend more time in the menus than you do in the dungeons in Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. Hey, Fuzzy Boots, welcome in. Welcome to Contra. Whoa. Welcome in, Chozo Brain. Don't let the long beard fool you. I'm most assuredly mortal. But I do appreciate the compliment. If there are remakes of games or movies, I always try to give the original a shot first so I can experience the changes. Yeah, and by all means, not a bad move at all. Y'all were talking about Zelda and I felt a disturbance in the forest. The Zelda signal lit up in the sky. Fuzzy Boots, welcome in. Very happy to have you here. I hope you're doing well. If someone mentions Ghostbusters, I hear it from anywhere, Derek says. Victory! I'm still hyped that you beat Nito yesterday. I was talking about that at the start of the stream, Chozo Brain. I was patting myself on the back. I felt really good about that one. Yeah, I couldn't believe... I still can't believe it. Because, like, we made, like, what, 7, 8 attempts at him? And all of the first ones, I got killed in, like, 2 seconds. The very first time I walked in the room, before I could take a single step, a red blade came up out of the ground and insta-killed me. I thought I was going to be stuck there for weeks. And then just a few attempts later, like, every attempt was trash. Every attempt, I died in a matter of seconds. And then suddenly I just went in there and stomped him out of nowhere. I feel good about it. Han shot first, as Elder Dude insists. Contra was one of the first games I beat as a kid. I did it co-op with my little brother. Haven't played it in as many years. Won't say how many, because I won't date myself. I doubt I could beat it easily now. Might come back to you. Maybe it's like, you know, like riding a bicycle, right? One of those things, one of those skills you never really lose. I say that, and I'm the guy that gets, like, if I stop playing a game for 2 days, I look like I've never played it before in my life. I rust so quickly. Playing it on co-op, beating it on co-op, though, from what I've heard that co-op Contra is actually harder than single player. So, you know, GG on the victory. Especially on co-op. If we're talking about NES Contra, I've heard that one is more difficult on co-op. I don't know about the others. It was a freak accident. We were playing and made it to the end, and our minds were blown. is the NES Contra, right on. I played very poorly there. I found Ash Lake, by the way. The interest was exactly where I thought it would be. I found Ash Lake. I had no idea it even existed. But it's alright. The trick to Dark Souls is you just have to be willing to take your time and hit every wall. If you hit every wall, you can succeed in Dark Souls. That's what I've learned. In fact, I hit all of them multiple times because I am terrible at keeping track of which ones I've already hit. Which I guess is good, since I know you have to hit one wall in Elden Ring like 100,000 times before it breaks open, so... So oddly enough, the worse I play, the better I play. From the right perspective. Victory. How are you liking this Contra game so far? I really like the style of this game. There are some small things about it that unfortunately bug me quite a bit. I don't know how likely I am to get used to them. The camera is super irritating on the regular running gun levels because the camera doesn't advance until your character is too far to the right-hand side of the screen. So I'm continually irritated by that, and there's a couple little quirks to the controls that I'm not super thrilled about, but I mean it's like, so far as like the aesthetics, it's a masterpiece. I like how weird it is. It's really fast paced and pretty difficult. But I like those things too. So I don't know. It's not a perfect experience. It's mostly good, with some things that give me little headaches here and there. I give it like a 5 or 6 out of 7 so far. It's hard to say before I've made it all the way through the game, though. Nito is a toughie without using certain builds, Chozo said. Yeah, people told me in the chat just earlier, some people were saying that for some people Nito is like one of the hardest parts of the game. So I definitely got really lucky. The 80s. Contra. Have you ever played Sonic Trouble for N64? I have not, Mile High Roll. I think I own it, but I haven't actually played it. How to beat Contra. 1. Get the spread shot. 2. Keep the spread shot. 3. Don't forget rule number 2. Well put, Zelda dude. It's like Doom. You punch the walls and hope you find a secret. Precisely. I'm skipping through a lot of the story that I've already read before, so apologies if you have missed that. I will stop and start, like, I will stop and pay attention and read the story when I get to new stuff, but for repeated story, I'm not gonna invest the time in it. Yeah, the 50 hit wall in Elden Gleam and Elden Ring was a glitch. I know. I was sacrificing precision for the sake of amusement. Like how Contra and Castlevania both had very different 16-bit versions. Yeah, it's actually one way that we really benefited from Nintendo's, like, really, sort of brutal policies, right? Because Nintendo didn't want any games that companies made for their console to be released on other consoles. They kind of forced their hands into developing very different versions of their stuff, and in the long run, we really benefited from that. That wasn't Nintendo's intention necessarily, but I'm glad that that was their policy. I wish they had, I wish they hadn't loosened up on that, because, you know, eventually things do get to be pretty similar across SNES and Genesis. Sadly. During the NES era, they controlled like 80% of the market. Yeah. I mean, they could get away with it, right? They got in at the right time with a great product, and so they reaped the benefits of being able to call the shots. It's a shame that I game overed where I did, because I was really close to another checkpoint. You have any plans for what's after Dark Souls? Not really Mile High Roll. It'll be something retro. I might finally get around to trying Wild Arms. That's been a game I've been wanting to play for a while. I might do that, or I've been threatening to do Mystic Quest for a while, so maybe we'll do that. But don't take any of these thoughts too seriously, and don't hold your breath for them, because I expect it's going to be a long time before I'm done with Dark Souls yet, and who knows what I'll be feeling like at the time. Mystic Quest will be fun. Yeah, I kind of want to play it, because I'm a noob to RPGs, and I know it's a beginner's RPG. So I think I'm the appropriate audience. Wow, that coffee is really great. It is the exact perfect temperature. But those kind of things are on my to-do list. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but I won't go so far as to say that everyone should buy Nintendo consoles and nothing else, as Elder Dude says. Plenty of other great games and stuff out there. Certainly. Or the prequel, Mild Arms. What's Mystic Quest? Mystic Quest is a Final Fantasy game. It's like a beginner's level RPG, Derek. It's a Super NES game. Hopefully a second Dark Souls playthrough in the future, Chozo Brain says. Likely. I think I would be interested to do it a second time. I kind of think that what we'll end up doing, though, I kind of think I'll play Dark Souls 2 and then maybe do a second playthrough of Dark Souls 1. I don't know. I have plenty of time to decide. None of these things are happening soon. Mystic Quest is the only Final Fantasy game I've played. I had it as a kid, one of John says. Super Mario RPG. I'd like to do that game, Mile High Roll. I want to do that. I want to do the 1,000-Year Door. Those could be fun. Have you played Earthbound? I have not, Zelda Dune. It's another one I need to do someday. I think you would like Mario RPG more, and it's a great game for an RPG beginner. Start with Earthbound. Mario RPG or the US SNES Final Fantasy II are probably the best starting out JRPGs, Chozo Brain says. Mile High Roll agrees. PS4 donation goal win. No, we don't do we have one goal. There's one sub goal for the stream. When I hit the low count of 1 million subs, I'm going to start grinding attempts for a deathless run of Echo the Dolphin. That's the only sub goal. So you do the other Souls games in Bloodborne. We'll see. I'll I'm gonna try and save up and get some hardware, within a year or so. It's a little bit of difficult. It's a little bit it's a little bit difficult because there's a couple things I want to get because I also want to get some flash cards for some of my consoles. So I have to decide where to spend my money and do it wisely. But all these things are things I do want to happen. We just have to be patient, my friends. I'm gonna try and make them happen. If you stick with me long enough, as long as I don't die or suffer some terrible tragedy, if you stick with me, I'll make these things happen eventually. I just need patience. I'm not a fan of RPGs in general, but I like Super Mario RPG, Earthbound, and Paper Mario. Recommend them all, One Up John says. I love Paper Mario. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Echo the Dolphin has no friends. Hey, Boat Ladder, welcome in. I hope you're well, my friend. Love to see Frown Man play Elden Ring. You need at least a PS4 Pro. That's what I had before. I had a PS4 Pro. Um, I had it for just a couple weeks. This boss fight is amazing, by the way. I love it. I love this arena. I love these little mini bosses made out of constellations. Is it very Contra? I don't necessarily know that it's very Contra, but I also don't care. I just really like it. It's so weird. Ah, stay away from me. And of course, I love these purples and blues that are going on. The color choices are wonderful. The gold and blue of the constellations. I'm less thrilled about the final phase here, the Tetris boss. Not as cool as the constellations that come before, and a little annoying to fight, but... a lot annoying to fight. No, bogus. That blade is bogus. How much health does it have? No! Oh, we were so close. We had to have been. My obscure Mario is the Mario Golf on Game Boy, Doe says. I can't say that I've played that one. PS4 Pros are so loud. It was like an aircraft getting ready for takeoff in your living room. It's such a cool boss design. We had the same thought. Mine doesn't make any noise. You have the only one in the world that doesn't. I don't remember. I don't remember what the noise situation was like with the Pro that I had. I think I like this one more than the Contra on the SNES, even though that's a good game too, Derek says. I'm reserving my judgment. I have to spend some more time with both of them. What? How did that happen? No, playthrough ruined. I picked a different character by accident. I don't even know how I did that. This character does not seem very different from the one I was just playing as, though. Fortunately, we won't be stuck with him for very long since I'm playing so badly. He has different weapons. The different characters get different weapons. That's amazing. I didn't even know that. Alright, well, we're going back to the Wolfman. That was a nice preview of what's to come. I don't know how I ended up doing that. Pressing buttons and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Hot Shots Golf for PlayStation. That was so good, Fuzzy Boot says. Have I ever even played a golf game? I don't even know if I've ever played a golf game. Maybe one of the maybe Mario Golf on the N64 with a friend or something, but I don't really have any specific memories of it. I played like I've played like putt golf games, like a top-down sort of golf game, like golf mini games. But I don't think that those really count as quite the same thing. I need to use my slide more. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think half my city heard my PlayStation 5, my PlayStation 4, Mile High Roll says. Remake 7 was by far the game that made it make the most noise. You mean jumping on the bosses isn't how you defeat them? Welcome in, Zergling? Apparently not. Apparently this is not... I was mistaken, and this is not a Mario game. Hot Shots Golf is legendary. The team got bought by Nintendo, and they've been making Mario sports games since the N64 era. They made Golden Sun in the GBA before that. Oh, what am I talking about? We played a golf game on the stream. How did I forget? We played that Christmas golf game. I was amazingly terrible at it. I failed every course. Yeah, we played Outlaw Golf. It was like a Christmas game. Boy, I wish I hadn't chosen to play as the Wolfman. I don't like his weapon set. Wolfman is cool. I appreciate his design. But now that I sort of accidentally figured out that the other characters have different weapon sets, I'm sad because I don't like a lot of his I'm sad because I don't quite like several of his weapons. Wolfman seems quite plush for hardcore. I mean, the sunglasses, the bandolier, the turquoise pants, he certainly has style. That was a good stage one. Victory. That's probably the best I've ever made it this far in the game. So like an obstacle like these cars is really obnoxious. It's really obnoxious that the camera grabs you. Only so close to the right-hand side of the screen. It's so difficult to advance the camera in this game. And then they put an obstacle like that for you to walk into. It's very rude. The camera should really grab onto the character like about here. Not more than halfway across the screen. I'm never gonna get over that. That's like the thing that drives me crazy about this game. No, what am I doing? I got so lucky. I timed that incredibly poorly. What an explosion. I got chills. No, I was trying to slide. Yeah, give me that weapon back. No, don't give me that weapon. Stay away from me. Stay away from me, Gemini. Ah, there was just no way. Oh, I hate that weapon. Wah. Are you the voice of the boss? I disagree. All right. So this next level, this is as far as I've been. I think I made it to the boss of this level. I got really lucky those mosquitoes didn't get me. no, I don't remember how to fight this boss. Just try my best, I guess. If he turns red, I'm in trouble. Run. Good. I like this guy. This guy, best character in the game right here. This dinosaur, look at the face. He looks like a Goomba. He looks like a Goomba from the Mario Brothers movie. It's adorable. He looks exactly like Toad. He's so friendly. Oh, yeah, and then there's this guy. I forgot about this guy. He, like, throws his legs at me and stuff. Oh no, I don't remember what this attack is like. Here they come. 1, 2. Uh-oh. I don't know if I've seen him do that attack before. That was new. Number 2 incoming. He seems friendly. He does. He does. These remind me of Zelda too. They look like the things that grow in the desert. Alright, here we go. So I made it to this boss before. And I feel like we got pretty far along in this battle too. I assume this is like the boss of the stage. I'm gone. No, the bottom of the stage is bogus. Oh, no! Rip the 1cc. Oh, no, no, the checkpoint's all the way back here? Oh, never mind, this is fine. I thought this was before the 2 circles mini-boss with the legs. This is fine, I don't mind fighting those, I don't know, trees again. They're fine. Oh. Hagrid is the Death Eater, the truth must be known. Why is he so aggressive this time? What is going on? That's basically the exact opposite experience that I had the last time. That's wild. Yeah, you better run. No, I can't get down. This game is sometimes irritating. Why would you do that to me? It's weird. I understand that a little bit more now. But it's still weird. You don't actually have to move in this part. This side of the screen doesn't kill you, it pushes you along. I don't actually want to jump up high enough to grab the screen. I have no idea what to do about this. Oh, I can slide. I need to slide through it. Oh. I'm always forgetting about the slide. That's a great start. That's a great start. I'm gonna stay for Battletoads, but my schedule for a week has been days. Gotta go, Frownie. Thank you for the stream. Hope to catch Battletoads next time, my friend. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Doe. It's in the second part of the stream tonight. And it's probably gonna be a while yet before I get to it. But I do appreciate you being here for a while. I hope that you get well rested, and hopefully, you know, I don't expect I'll beat it tonight. So hopefully you'll be able to catch some Battletoads next week. I hate the bottom of the screen. It's really annoying that the bottom of the screen kills you, especially when the edge of the screen doesn't in the horizontal sections. We'll watch the battle ensue. There. That laser could have bounced up or it could have bounced down, and I got unlucky. It went just the way I didn't need it to. Is it really payback time, though? I keep saying that. I'm not sure he understands what it means. I think he just likes the sound of the words. Welcome in, Streaming Fist. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I'm doing an awful lot of struggling with this boss. I just saw another piece of how this boss works, too. I get some of what I'm doing wrong. Finally. This is actually a very cool boss. Why? I feel like I understand this boss enough now that I should be able to beat it. So, I'm very sad that I'm not. Got lucky there. No. No, it's going crazy. Very cool boss. Come on, let's get lucky with these bounces. Nice. I don't understand that last phase very well. But I'm getting there. We'll give it another run. If I can defeat that boss tonight, I will feel really accomplished. The jolly robot. Does he sell robotic canned goods? I had a nightmare about the Jolly Green Giant once when I was a kid. He wasn't so friendly in my nightmare. He was the jolly mean giant. Victory. Another good stage 1. I love that robot who comes running up carrying the bomb. That's a great robot. Looks like Angelus is here with some friends. Thank you for the raid, Angelus. Very much appreciate you coming by. I hope you've had a good night. Tell us what you were doing on your stream and how it went for you. While I take care of a few bosses here. Darkman makes LJN licensed games look good. That bad, huh? Here, let me pause a moment to give you a shout out. Ocean makes much worse games than LJN. I don't know what, if anything, I've played from Ocean. Maybe nothing. Surely I've played something. I just haven't taken note of it. Thank you for the shout out. Anytime, anytime. Thank you again for the raid. Angry Video Game Nerd complains about LJN, but Ocean puts them to shame. He blew himself up just like real life. Not sure how accurate the game is compared to the movie it's based on, but after playing it, I felt just as mad as Darkman after his lab got blown up. It's always nice when a game makes you feel like the character, right? Put a positive spin on that. Mad like angry or like insane? Probably both. This is like the Mad Max level. If they're trying to make me feel like the character, they succeeded. This part's just like real life, too. I love this boss fight. I love the aesthetics of this place. Not crazy about this. It had me really cornered there. I was feeling awfully claustrophobic. Victory. I also ranted about how I'm sure Darkman used a gun in the movie, but I was forced to hit people with a wimpy punch In the later levels with a club, of course, the enemies got to use guns. Did you play through the whole game, though? Did you beat it, Angelus? Reminds me of the Gears boss in Castlevania Bloodlines. Yeah, I made that comparison, too. Like, because it's kind of a silly boss. The Gears boss in Castlevania Bloodlines is pretty ridiculous. I love that game, though. Castlevania Bloodlines, I really love that game. Maybe we'll play that on Friday. I haven't put anything on the schedule yet for Friday. It's been a while since I played that one. Maybe that's what we'll do. Tried to beat Darkman but failed? No worries. I mean, it sounds like... it might not be worth sweating over. I got killed twice because of an item. I don't like this game. I wouldn't have died if item pickups didn't switch you to the guns, and they were all so terrible. Ah, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that it went like that. I went from 5 lives to 1 because of the trash weapons of this game. Very unhappy. Darkman is super janky, but you might find fun in it, or at the very least, comedic value. Oh, I'm never gonna recover. At least I picked them up in the opposite order this time, so I didn't get ruined. See, that's what our first attempt would have looked like if the weapons weren't so... if like, half my weapons weren't so uselessly terrible. That was my fault. I knew that guy was coming out and I behaved poorly. I'm to blame there. We'll probably make one more run after this one. And then it'll probably be time to switch to Battletoads for the night. We had kind of a massive stream last night, so if at all possible, I kind of need to keep tonight's a little shorter. But I want to make sure we get both games, you know, at least around 2.5 hours. I did a lot of work on the About page for the stream today. I finally figured out how to put hyperlinked text on the on my panels on the About page. So now we've got a very nice panel that I made today that's got hyperlinks to all the challenge runs we've done on the stream. So if you're ever curious to check out, you know, one of our deathless attempts or, you know, any of the sort of special runs that we've accomplished, They're almost all available there. There are 2 Castlevania runs that haven't been published yet, so they're not linked, but they will be. They will be when I get them up on YouTube. This didn't go so badly last time. Why is it going so badly this time? Why is it going so badly this time? It went so smoothly last time. We got here so easily. And now everything is just crumbled. No! I pushed the wrong button. Just don't even pick up that weapon. That item is not a, that item is not an item. That item isn't, that's an enemy. That's a decoy. It's just sent to pollute my arsenal. The enemy's strategy is to fill my pockets up with trash so that when I reach for a weapon, I won't be able to grab anything effective. It's pretty devious, actually. It's a miracle I'm still alive. Speaking of Battletoads, there's a stage in Darkman that reminded me of that game. The stage where you have to avoid a glowing disc. It was a roller coaster level where you had to quickly turn the direction the track says to go. It's easier said than done. However, it wasn't the stage that made me quit playing, as I managed to get through that one. Any stage that's in any way similar to anything in Battletoads has got to be a pretty rough time. Everything in Battletoads is challenging. Thus, everything that's like anything in Battletoads must be super challenging. I disagree. I was running from that thing. I don't think it would have been able to hit me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that attack there. I guess just get hit. One that made me give up was one where you had to fight a duplicate of yourself with a club, but he gets to nearly knock out all of your health because there's a henchman waiting in the trees to nearly take all of your health with an unavoidable bomb. Then he finishes you off with his club. Sounds delightful. I don't really like evil twin fights in video games. Castlevania likes to do those a lot. There's one in Mega Man. They're not really my favorite type of battle. Very unlucky there. At least we made it back here, and we're gonna get a couple tries. At least that. It seemed for a moment that I wasn't even gonna make it back here, so... I should be, like, thanking my lucky stars. Not the constellations in the previous stages, boss. Those are my unlucky stars. Look, at any time, player 2 can press start and join the fight. When I was a kid, and if I played this as a kid, I probably would have played, like, until I got to my very last life, and then start pressing start on the player 2 controller, so that I could jump in with that character and not lose my progress when I game overed the first one. I assume it would work that way. I say that, but I wouldn't have played this game as a kid. I didn't like hard games back then. This would have been too tough for me. I would have hated this game. Unfortunately, I'm not, I still don't really have any idea of how to fight the last phase, and I don't have any lives to waste trying to figure it out. I didn't realize Darkman spent so much time at the club. I thought he was just really enthusiastic about preventing auto theft. There's gotta be a way to avoid that. They're really lucky, because I'm doing a bad job. I'm doing a bad job spinning that guy. No, stay away. You just have to gently push it away. Nope. I think that's a victory, but I don't really feel good about it. Victory. I don't really feel good about it because I just kind of tanked the hits. This is the end for you. Uh-oh. What I just keep... Well, I like it because it's like the tables have turned. I'm chasing him down because he chased me first. A trap! Just as we planned, Colonel. Doctor, what's going on? Just as you can see, the doctor has been assisting us. I'm sick and tired of this weakling government. Having obtained something as magnificent as the alien cell, they squandered the opportunity by locking it away in a vault. The Colonel feels as I do, and will help me achieve my plans. Now I can carry on with my own dark experiments. Why, you treacherous little... Well, Doctor, I will leave the rest up to you. Uh-oh. There's no way to escape. You must surrender peacefully. Fight to the end, surrender, and fight later. Fight to the end? You poor fool. Now you will be prey for my experiments. I didn't know that was a door that was gonna open. This is kind of a cool idea. Ah! Ah. The doctor knows his experiments are messed up. Well, I think we're actually gonna call it for the night on this game right here. We did succeed in defeating another boss. We saw a little bit of something new. Hopefully the next time I pick it up, I'll be able to do a little bit better. But I think that it's a good idea for us to switch over to Battletoads before I run out of steam. I'm having fun with this game. I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit. But I'm running on limited energy tonight, and I don't want anything to get bounced off the schedule. So we'll call it here. So we've got time for 2 or 3 runs at Battletoads. Thank you for enjoying Contra with me, though. Hopefully you've been having a good time as we slowly discover a little bit more of this game each time we play it. Yeah, it's like the situation that started the it's like the situation that set the plot moving in the Fly, right? Except this time it's on purpose. Time for Suffer Toads. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. So stand by just a moment, my friends, if you'd be so kind. Let me switch consoles, and I will be right back with you.